Hello, I'm Mary Trimble with your readings for September the 24th through September the 30th. Welcome. If you haven't been here before, welcome. I'm so happy that you stopped by. I really appreciate you, and I hope that you enjoy these readings and that you will come back. And if you've been here before, thank you so much. Listen, guys, you know, you really touch my heart and you really helped me through a very difficult week. I want to apologize for only getting 7 readings up last week, so I am going to start with Aries where I left off with Pisces last week. So I'm going to start with Aries. I hope the Librans will forgive me. As soon as I've gone through to Virgo, I will then do Libra and go on from there. What else? You really helped me. Thank you for all the wonderful sentiments about my mum. I really appreciate you. I'm using a green screen with photographs from Nottingham, but I'm going to, each reading will be my mum's window in the background. So it's her view of what she had in her house just before she was she moved into the assisted living apartment. She lived in Woollerton, and here is the view out of her window. It was so pretty, and this is only a section of her window. She had a lovely bay window. Anyway, I thought I would let you know that, and of course this is in honor of my mum. I will be leaving for England next week. I may not get the readings up for a couple of weeks, so I just wanted you to bear with me and please hang in there and come back and support me. I would really appreciate that. Now, these are general readings, guys. I will start with an astrological reading, and you can skip that if you're checking out your sun, moon, and rising. But the astrological reading is quite interesting this week, and that will go on every video. The format will change probably in maybe the end of October or November. I'm going to tailor each reading for each sign, so they'll be different. And what else? These are general readings. Like I said, if you would like a personal reading, you can click here and find out more information. And if you just want to support me, and I can tell you I could really use some support right now with everything that's going on, and you can check me out on Patreon, and you can click on here for Patreon. Okay, so let's go into the astrological report, shall we? Look, we're starting off the week with a full moon in Aries. Now, moons are very emotional anyway, but this moon in particular is quite emotional. I mean, of course, all the water signs, you know, definitely feel it, but it's right next to Chiron. And Chiron is the wounded healer. So we're going to find a lot of our childhood wounds may come up. You know, some issues that we, you know, look, they may be brought up, and that's great, right? Because this is a time that we can look at them, feel them, and then release them. So this is a great opportunity to do that. We may have some issues this week with there are several other aspects going on. I'm just going to give you a general energy for the week. We may have some challenges with our relationships this week. So we could be quick to be angry, so it's really important to think before we speak and react and try to avoid conflict. But whatever happens this week, there are lessons here, and there are obstacles that we can overcome. These are opportunities for us to overcome these obstacles. On the positive side, we are going to have a lot of energy. And so we will be, you know, energized to be ambitious and to do things and have that get up and go. So that's a good thing. Just when something comes up for you, retreat and have some self-reflection with it so that you can learn from it and move on. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, and because there is, there's a lot going on this week. I just want to mention the full moon is always a culmination of things. We will be letting things go. We will be letting relationships go. It is important for us to really look and see what is working for us and then release that which is no longer working for us. Sometimes we fight to hang on to things that don't work for us. This full moon is definitely, all full moons are a culmination or an ending, right? A completion of something. And this is particularly energized towards the completion of things, relationships in kind of all areas, at work, our boss. Some of us will be ending jobs. Some of us will be ending, perhaps if we have a business, we'll be ending some part of what we've been doing and no longer focusing on that and focusing on something else. Whatever this is, it's transformational right now, and so we will be going forward kind of renewed and different. I know I, for one, I've really felt the energy of this full moon, and some childhood issues came up for me, and it was intense. But what I was able to do was I was able to, really feel it. It was primal crying that I went through. And when I came through it, I was able to look at it, I don't want to say dispassionately, but from a distance. And I was able to, what's the word I'm looking for? I was able to discern. And I was able to remove myself from those intense feelings and really see what was going on so that I could accept it and then just, release it and move on. We don't have to feel that pain forever, but it is important that we go back and we feel it so that it's not affecting our lives in a negative way, so that we can move forward without the shackles of the past on us. So this moon, this full moon, is an amazing opportunity to remove those shackles. Just be willing to look at that. Be willing to look at that messy stuff. Sometimes it's messy, we all have that. But look at it so that you can release it. So without further ado, let's go to your card, shall we? Hello Gemini, and welcome to your reading for September the 24th through September the 30th. And the first card out for you is the Hermit. The Hermit is about, look, the lamp is representing his mind, right? He's been able to, this is about self-reflection. This is about retreating from society. It's about solitude. It's not about isolation. But it is about retreating from society and doing some really looking at yourself. And this is really what's happening this week with this full moon in Aries right next to Chiron. So this is about being able to see. This is a deep meditation. This is knowledge. This is looking at yourself, not being controlled by your mind. And that's difficult sometimes for Gemini, because you are an air sign and you're ruled by Mercury. So that's very it's all about communication. It's all about the mind. It's all about thought patterns. It's how you think. So this is really saying, when you've meditated for a long time, and it's not all the time, I've been meditating since the 80s, and on and off. I've had periods where I haven't, but you never completely 100%. Well, I'm sure some monks do perhaps, but I have had moments of freedom, but it's, and I can remind myself to be separated from my mind, that I'm not my brain, that I am a spiritual being having a physical experience on this plane. So this is what you're being asked to do. You're being asked to go within and really kind of look at what's going on with you and what have you learned so far, and how can you grow, how can you go forward in a different way, right? With self-awareness. Now, clarifying it is the Green Knight. Now, I'm using a green screen, so this is going to look see-through. The Green Knight, the Knight of Pentacles. Call him the Green Knight. The Knight of Pentacles is, look, all knights are about movement, right? But this particular knight is kind of standing still. You can't see it. This particular knight is standing still. What he does is he surveys the land, right? And he looks and he makes a strategic move. He's ready for battle. He's ready to defend. He's ready to be honorable and do everything he needs to do. But he's going to move forward methodically, meticulously, and strategically. He's going to be very thoughtful about what his next move is. And that's what the Knight of Pentacles is. He's very practical. And he's not going to rush in. He's not going to rush in and make any rash decisions, right? So the next card we have is the Knight of Cups, another knight. That's movement, right? And the Knight of Cups is bringing in intuition and psychic ability, but also a message of love, perhaps. This is like, love coming in. I have a feeling that it really is love for you, because clarifying it is the Knight of Wands, which is passion, right? I have a feeling that this is going to come in really fast. And the Knight of Wands is very passionate and, he's very kind of, he's fire. He rushes. The thing about the Knight of Wands, he's very creative. He needs to be busy. He's got lots of damsels in distress to save. He's got to defend his honor and everyone else's. He's busy out there, right? And he has to be kind of on the move. The only thing about the Knight of Wands is he can be very rash and impulsive. So I'm getting the feeling that you could meet someone this week where you're just going to kind of want to dive in. It's going to be exciting and really kind of tempting to kind of, you could, be swept off your feet and run off with this person. I feel that that's the temptation for some of you. Now, I'm going to go on. The next card you have is the Temperance card. This is definitely, this is, the motto for this card is everything in moderation, right? This is a beautiful card, but it's saying you have to kind of don't rush into this relationship with someone. I'm not saying don't get into it. Yes, it looks exciting and it's there for a reason, but don't get in over your head. Don't take things slow. You're supposed to really take this slow. Your impulse is to dive in and fall in love in 2 seconds, but this is not the time to do that. This is a time to kind of enjoy it and hold back and like it for what it is. Clarifying it, you've got the Knight of Wands again, you see. This is a clear message that you are really going to want to be swept off your feet, Gemini, this week. It's going to be such a difficult, it's going to be difficult for you to hold yourself back. But honestly, you really need to take this slow. You need to get to know this person. I'm not saying that this person is bad, but really rely on your intuition. You've definitely, don't let your head and your heart run off. right? You know, with this person, like you're just going to want to go, oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be like love at first sight kind of thing. Clarifying the Temperance card and the Knight of Wands, it's saying don't rush in, darling. It's really hold back. And you've got the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is definitely intuition and psychic abilities. So you're going to get a gut feeling. You know, your impulse is to rush in and just rush in with reckless abandon. That's what your impulse is to do. But the Knight of Pentacles is saying, look, take it really slow. And so is the Temperance card. It's saying take it slow. And the High Priestess is saying, listen, trust your intuition. Sometimes all that glitters isn't gold. And sometimes, you know, this person could be traveling through. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe they'll be there to stay. But definitely hold back a little. Don't get in over your head. It's important to have some self-discipline with this and to really get it. And, you know, listen, I'm telling you, you can go over this. You might have a tendency to go over it in your head. You know, when you meet someone, you're like, oh my God, and he said this, or she said this, and oh my God, what a great person, and blah, blah, blah. And you just see, you know, all rainbows and roses and whatever, right? And so you just want to dive in. This is like the most exciting thing. It's like passionate. But this is saying, look, this is self-reflection. Really take a look at this. What, you know, where do these impulses come from? And, you know, somebody who's really worth the time will wait and want to take it slow too. So if this is someone you really like, it's important to take it slow. And I'm telling you, meditate, because you'll be able to separate your mind and you'll stop that obsessive thinking. You might have the tendency to, you know, overthink things and just be obsessed. You know, it's that kind of passion this week. It's an obsessive kind of passion. So trust your gut feeling and separate yourself from your brain and your mind. Don't let it control you, and don't allow it to run away with you. You can't control your mind in meditation, but you can stop your mind controlling you. Gemini, thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to like this video, share it on your social media, comment. I love comments, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all, and I'll see you soon.